Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. It's Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Today we're going to make this really pretty card. It's a sympathy card, and I'm actually using some designer series paper and stamping on it. I'm going to make this one a little bit different. I'm using the Path of Petals stamp set, and then the designer series paper is the what is it called? Well, let me show it to you. It's really gorgeous. It's called the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper. So you get 4 sheets of this that you can cut up, and then you get 4 sheets of each of these, and they're double-sided, and I just think their images are so pretty. They're 12 by 12. I cut them in half because I did a paper share, and I still have some shares left if you're interested. Just let me know. And this is the other side. So isn't that pretty? So we're using this piece and we're going to actually stamp on it. So let me put that away. And let me just show you some other things in the catalog for this. It's a whole suite. You can do a journal. There's the stamp set and dies. Now this is the coordinating dies. And I made this card. It's on my blog from yesterday for a wedding. And this is kind of raised up, but you can cut this out with this piece and then the center out, and then you can even do another oval if you wanted to. So this was a wedding card that I made, and I just love it. I think it's beautiful using this. So that's another part of it, and you can go to my blog for yesterday and see how I made that. And there's this really cool washi tape that you can make into flowers. The ribbon, we're going to use that ribbon today. There's an embossing folder with script, and then I showed you the papers and the stamp sets. So really cool. I love it. Right up my alley. So let's get started with our card. I have everything cut. So I used the layering ovals to cut this piece, and again I'm going to back it with the green. This is garden green. And I'm going to stamp right on this designer series paper, and it gives it kind of a light look. So let me put this stuff aside and let's start with the designer series paper. I have everything mounted, and I'm using garden green and So Saffron and Rococo Rose. That's one of our new in colors. So all I did was stamp around the background, and actually let me get the focal piece done first. This way, if the stamp gets inky, it was a little bit difficult, I have to say, to kind of see through where to stamp everything. And I'm just going to put this down, and then I'm going to stamp it on this. And I'm just going to stamp it around randomly. And then we'll add to it some of the flowers. We don't have to do too much on the flowers. And I think that's good. Let me just get a little bit in here. Move that away. I'm going to just do a little bit up top. Now some of it I'll just leave as green. And then we're going to do the Rococo Rose. I like how to say that. And actually, while the green is out, let me do the sentiment, because I think I did that. Nope, I did that in black. Have to remember. Oh, I know what I did in green. I just did another on the inside of the card. I did a little bit of greenery. So while we have the green out, let's get that done. And I did put another layer. This is very vanilla, so you could just stamp right in the inside of the card. But I like to add another layer just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, support, since there's so much sitting on the front of the card. So we'll put that away, and let's do the Rococo Rose. And this was, I have to admit, a little hard to line up. So before I ink it, I kind of lined up this flower and this flower up here and down here. And I just kind of turned it and twisted it and tried to get it, and I guess this flower goes here. So it's one of the stamps I don't think you have to have perfect. So do it the best you can. And I think it just all kind of flows together. Okay. And then I'm going to do that on this as well. So, and this, I'm not even stamping that dark, so I'm just trying to line, and it's a little bit hard to see. But again, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be somewhat covered up. I think I missed the boat on that. And it is hard when you, and I'm just going to stamp it, when you're not a full image. That makes it a little bit harder to line it up. But it's okay. For this, it's just kind of a background just to get that color on. And let me just get, and this one I'm just going to get the edge just to get some color. And same thing with this. Okay, I kind of have a hole here, but I think that's okay. And then we're going to do the So Saffron. So we'll get that one going. And that's another one that's a little bit hard to line up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So this is just going to give us, and the same thing, I tried to, let's see, how did I do this? Now I have to figure it out. I tried to just line up parts of it so that it would, this is just, let me just show you. This is just these little sprigs that go around, and they're kind of little doodads that just would, you know, be part of an arrangement or a flower bunch that you had. So let's see, I'm going to just go with it. Don't know if it's lined up exactly right, but it's good enough for me. Okay, so the same thing, I don't think it really matters. You just want to get some of these different colors on your background, and you could barely even see it. So how did this go? See, you could barely see it. I'm probably driving you crazy here. But it's just actually just a little color on it. And just gonna put some in there. Okay. I don't like that hole there, but it's gonna have to do. That'll be okay. Okay, so we have that done, and then let's do the sentiment. I did that in the Memento, black Memento ink, and I have that mounted, and it's sharing in your sorrow. So this is a sympathy card. And I'll have all the measurements for all these pieces on my blog, pspapercrafts.com. So you don't have to worry about what I'm doing here. And then the inside sentiment, we'll get that inked up. And I just want to make sure it inks up nicely. I feel like it's not going in that center part. Let's see how it looks. Looks good. I love the script in the font, and then it's got the word strength and peace kind of highlighted. Well, not in script. I shouldn't. I guess that highlights it, right? Okay. So let's line this up. Hoping you can find strength for today and peace in tomorrow. So I think that's perfect for a sympathy card. So now let's get our pieces together. So the first thing I'm going to do is adhere this to this piece. So again, I'm doing it a little bit different than I did on this card. So let me get my liquid glue and put these down together. After I made this other card, I was like, oh, it would have been nice if I had a little backing to it, but I think it's okay. And then I'm going to use this other ribbon, and I broke it. It's gathered ribbon, and it's Rococo Rose, and it's really just beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a shimmer to it. So I thought I would use that instead of the lace. So on this card, I used the scalloped lace trim. But on this one, I'm going to use this Rococo Rose gathered ribbon. So I'm just going to cut it, and then I'm going to wrap it around the card where I think I want it. Just kind of lay it and get an idea. That looks good. See, my blank spot is kind of covered with it. So then what I'll do is I'll take some tear tape and put that down in the back. You can use Scotch tape or tear tape, which I really hate to tear, but I'm doing it today. I'm more of a cut the tear tape. And then you just have to make sure it's down really good. It's very sticky. That's why I would recommend you using this for this part. And let me get my little tool here. If you can't get underneath it, just scratch it down. So the backing comes off, and then it's kind of a two-sided tape. Okay. So let's get this going. And isn't this pretty? Hate to cover it up. So this is definitely going this way. And we just want to get this and then press it down on that tape. This paper is a little bit thinner too. I made it crooked. It's a little bit thinner than the designer series paper usually is, but I think it's really nice. So I think I'm going to put a little glue dot there, just to make sure that stays down. We are going to cover it up, but the lace laid down nice and flat. So let's get that under here, just to hold it down. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to put this down with some dimensionals. I'm not tying a bow, I'm just going to leave the ribbon, and I think that ribbon is so pretty and it goes really well with the Rococo Rose and the ink. So I'm happy with that. So just take off the backings. We're really almost done. Kind of a quick card. And actually, before I put this down, I'm going to attach it to the card base, just because I don't want it to be too bumpy. And I'm going to just use snail because of how thin it is, the paper. I usually use liquid glue, but I thought snail would work better for this. Sometimes if the paper's too thin and your glue is a little thick, you can see the line of glue. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but it's definitely happened to me. So let's put this down. And then the sharing in your sorrow, I also put down with the dimensionals. I think we just need 2 of these. I think this is really a beautiful card. I like it both ways. The lace ribbon is very pretty, but I really like this ribbon. So I'm just going to put this down so there's a little bit of a border. Probably should have moved that up, but I think that's okay. And then we just want to put the inside piece in, and I will do the liquid glue for that. And we're done. Okay. So see, you could have stamped right on here, but I just wanted to give it a little more weight to it so it's not too heavy in the front. So there you go. These are the 2 cards. Let me know. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I want to put some rhinestones in the flowers. I had them in this one. So we'll just put a few rhinestones right in the center. I'll just put 3 of them on. That's pretty. Okay. Should I put more on? I only put 3 on this one, but I think I'm going to go for more. We're going to just jazz this whole card up a little bit more. So let's put one here and here. Leave that little guy alone. Okay, so let me know which card you like better. I think they're both very pretty. Sharing in your sorrow, hoping you can find strength for today and peace for tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll be back on Friday. Today's Wednesday, so I'm trying to do videos on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I'll be back on Friday with another video. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need a catalog, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. Okay, thank you. Bye.